Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning into another episode of the Before I Go podcast. According to the songwriter, it's the most wonderful time of the year. But is it though? Christmas time for me has definitely evolved over the years. I remember when I was growing up, Christmas was filled with joy and anticipation. I am one of 7 children. And some of us still believed in Santa, and I remember literally not being able to sleep at all on Christmas Eve. At first, we would wait up to see if we actually heard Santa coming. Then, after a few years, it was just the excitement of getting presents. I remember the older siblings would convince the younger siblings into sneaking into our parents' bedroom and asking them if we could go downstairs yet. Once we finally got the go-ahead, we would all gather in the living room and open our stuff and spend the rest of the day playing with our toys and wearing our new bathrobes and then eat a big meal. I do have good memories of Christmas past. When I got older, though, and started making money, Christmas turned a little less joyful and a little more stressful. Trying to find the perfect gift for everyone was such a chore. Sometimes going broke in the process. There were years where I would charge my entire Christmas on gifts for everyone that I knew, family members, friends, co-workers. I would go into the new year in debt and rely on my tax return to pay off that debt. Christmas was all about the kids, putting up the tree, decorating, the whole thing. And after my divorce, it seemed to get even more stressful because I was carrying around the guilt of breaking up my family. So I had to make up for that by buying gifts. I have a picture in my phone right now from Christmas 2001. I know it's 2001 because my son is holding up the Michael Jackson Invincible CD. He and my daughter are standing in front of the Christmas tree with the biggest goofy smiles. And seeing those smiles somehow made all the stress worth it. And today, they're grown with their own trees and they're starting their own traditions, and hopefully they're not going into debt to have Christmas. These days, I am not the biggest fan of the holiday season. I do not miss the old days. It was just too much stress and it takes a toll. Full disclosure, I may or may not be the person who says Jesus is the reason for the season. And I do celebrate Christmas to celebrate Jesus' birth, and that is about it. I'm no longer pressed about buying gifts. I don't even put up a tree. If I know of a need that I can fill, I will. My daughter wants an Amazon gift card. No problem, I can do that. I try throughout the year to fill needs so I don't have to necessarily wait for the holidays or birthdays. For several years, I would crochet hats for the homeless and give people the opportunity to donate yarn for the cause. I'd then donate the hats to a local shelter. That was always a success. The tradition of gift giving on Christmas has turned into more of a stress-inducing practice than anything else. And for the past few years, I decided to opt out. You know me, I'm all about being at peace, and with each year I try to be more intentional about that. And because of the seasonal depression, I have zeroed in on the fact that December really hits me hard. Between the shorter days and the colder weather and the reduced motivation, the added pressure of Christmas is not something I need. I'm planning on doing everything in my power to take care of my mental health this month so I can walk into the new year with a positive mindset and not burdened by debt or disappointment. I know I'm not the only one who feels some type of way during this time of year. Maybe for you it's not seasonal depression. Maybe you've lost a loved one. Maybe you're far away from family and friends. Maybe you've experienced a breakup. Whatever it is, it's important to recognize and identify what you are feeling and make a plan to deal with those feelings. I found some tips on the Psychology Today website from Linda Walter, a licensed clinical social worker, that may help. I plan to employ some of these tips myself, so I thought I would share some of them with you. First of all, keep your regular routine. Try to exercise at your usual time. Go to meetings that you normally go to and stick to as normal a diet as you possibly can. Do things in moderation. I know it can be tempting to overindulge during this time of year. Trust me, I know from personal experience that overindulging in December leads to massive regret in January. Manage your expectations. There is no such thing as a perfect anything. Remember that as you go into the holiday. Stay connected as best as you can. If you're feeling some type of way, it's not healthy to isolate. If you're constantly thinking negative thoughts, being alone with those thoughts is not healthy. Reach out to someone you trust and have a real conversation. Get out and do something you love. Remember to say no. You do not have to accept every single invitation that you receive. Take part in the activities that excite you, not the ones that feel like an obligation, like your company Christmas party. I'm just saying. Ask for help if you need it. I know it can be hard to ask for help, but I think you'd be surprised at how many people actually want to help. And finally, be good to yourself. Do things that make you feel good. It is the supposed season of giving. Try giving to yourself for a change. So many people dread this time of year. I used to be one of them. I no longer dread it, but it is not exactly my favorite either. The key is to be intentional about making it as joyful and peaceful as possible. Right now, as I write this script, I'm listening to Motown holiday classics, and it actually helps. Find what makes you feel joyful and do that. And then do it again. Well, that's all I have for today. Thank you so much for listening. But before I go, let me share this with you from Art Buchwald. The best things in life aren't things. I'll see you next time.